everyone, and welcome to the Peace Train Patrons of Peace panel at the esteemed Davos Worldwide Conference on the sidelines of COP30 Brazil. We are so happy and so grateful to be here with you all, and so happy and grateful to share this incredible Patrons of Peace circle with you all and invite global collaboration to support initiatives for peace, prosperity, and purpose globally. Thank you so much. We are so grateful for Anand Singh and the entire team at Davos Worldwide for this incredible opportunity to share our initiative and for all of your continuous support of the Peace Train and elevating initiatives for peace, prosperity, and purpose worldwide. Thank you so much. We're so grateful. Thank you. And today we are going to hear from our selected patrons of peace. We are a global community of leading families that are all creating and supporting initiatives for peace, prosperity, and purpose. And so today we are very grateful that we will all be sharing our work and also what we are doing to accelerate peace, prosperity, and purpose worldwide, and also have come together as a global community and patrons of peace circle to support these initiatives. So we're very excited to be here and very happy and grateful to share this with you all. Thank you so much. So we will also big thank you and to all of our esteemed panelists for being here and for your time and your leadership with all of your initiatives for peace, prosperity, and purpose. And we are honored and delighted to celebrate everyone and everyone's amazing initiatives and to all come together and celebrate this world peace movement that we are all creating together. So thank you so much for being here, and we are so happy and grateful to be in the circle with you all and to share about this with the world from this esteemed platform. Thank you so much. And I will begin by introducing myself, and then my colleague Ben Droz and I are moderating this panel. My name is Maren Ryan Soreth, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Peace Train and also president of the Peace Pledge Foundation. And it's my great honor and pleasure to be here and to be one of the central points of convening this incredible group of luminaries and leading families that are advancing peace, prosperity, and purpose. And my colleague Ben Droz will now introduce our panel and kick us off. And also, we are very honored and delighted to be here with you all. And thank you, Anand, again for all of your incredible support and for being one of the patrons of peace with your family and your amazing work with convening top global leaders to advance peace, prosperity, and purpose, and truly thriving for all. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ben.
Thank you so much, Maren, and thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Anand and Davos Worldwide, for the opportunity in this platform to talk about peace, prosperity, and purpose. And we are honored to be joined by some of the leading families that are leading the way when it comes to peace and preserving that legacy of peace. And we have some panelists here with us now, and we are expecting some others as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Mitzi Perdue and we have Eva. Mitzi, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. What a pleasure, what an honor. And a topic I'm eager to talk about. So thank you.
Amazing. And
hello. Thank you for welcoming me. Can you hear me all right? Thank you so much.
And so we are so excited to have you here today. For our panel, we have a few questions that we're going to be asking, but first...
Sorry, everybody.
All good. We know you're popular.
That's a rookie mistake. I should know to turn it off, but I will.
All good. Thank you.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to just introduce ourselves and explain your role and your why. And we have a few other questions that we're going to ask. And we really just want to facilitate a discussion meaningfully about peace and purpose and preserving our family legacies. And so, without further ado, maybe I'd like to start with Marin, who can introduce herself, and then we will be able to go around, and then I will help by asking the other questions, which are really just to facilitate that conversation.
Thank you, Ben. Such an honor and delight to co-create this team and this movement with you and our superstar team, and grateful for your alignment with the Peace Train, and also for you and your family's work in peace, prosperity, and purpose as part of your legacy. And that is really what this is about, is the Patrons of Peace panel, and the Patrons of Peace circle is comprised of a group of families and foundations that are all very much focused on how we can create prosperity by empowering peace. And peace is multifaceted. So we really see on the peace train that we can achieve sustainable world peace with a combination of inner peace, tangible prosperity, living in purpose, and sustainable connectivity. And so all of the families in the Patrons of Peace circle are devoted to this legacy and are accomplishing this in different ways. So for me, for my family, I'll just briefly introduce my name and my role, and also what my family is doing. So I introduced myself, and also with the Peace Train, what we are focused on is creating a global cultural movement and world peace movement, highlighting all of the leaders in peace, prosperity, and purpose, and really bringing this to the forefront of everyone's screens via mainstream media outlets across the world, and creating a meta narrative and docu-series to celebrate peace, prosperity, and purpose, and to empower the global leaders that's at the forefront of this movement, some of whom are with us today. So the Peace Train is a media movement, and then also the Peace Pledge Foundation. Our foundation is focused on inviting families, foundations, brands, corporations, and multiple stakeholders across different sectors to contribute 2% of their annual budgets. And with families and foundations, it's a bit different. There's a membership model, and also for brands and corporations and multiple stakeholders, including media outlets, we're inviting 2% of everyone's marketing budgets to empower all of these organizations. They're doing the best work in the world for peace, prosperity, and purpose. So our thesis is that peace leaders should not ever have to fundraise. They should just be empowered to do the best work that they're doing on the ground, and also globally, virtually, now that we have all these fun spaces for virtual work as well. So we are a convening force for this, and also an exciting media narrative of all of us coming together to share this with the world. My family has been devoted to peace for multiple generations. My mother is been convening global leaders at the forefront of the D-Day celebration in Normandy every year for the last 20 years, and to come together and to create favorable geopolitical situations that fosters peace and prosperity for all of the members. So and D-Day is such an incredible touch point of peace for the world, at which many of you know. And if you didn't know, D-Day is the first day of the end of World War II, where global countries have come together and agreed to peace and to building a sustainable peace through infrastructure that resulted in creating the UN and many other global peacemaking industries. So the Peace Train is linking up with D-Day and to create a World Peace concert, and also to continue this legacy of world peace. And one generation up, I'll just briefly mention, my mother's father was the chief of design of the lunar module. And then he hired the whole team, and they accomplished the lunar landing. And as we know, and I'm so grateful that that Lady Rocket is on the call with us today. As we know, space is one of the most unifying and peacemaking initiatives that on Earth right now, and beyond. And also that really the overview effect, which is the view of the Earth from the moon, that my grandfather supported with creating, was at the time one of the most unifying initiatives and images of that time that reminded us that we are all here on Earth together, and that we are all here together as a human race, and that it is our responsibility to not just get along, but to really support each other in sustainable thriving for the next 7 generations and beyond. So I'm very grateful to be here with you all, and very grateful for my family legacy of peace and prosperity, and very honored and delighted to continue this with the Peace Train, the Peace Pledge Foundation, and beyond. So thank you so much. And also over to Mitzi, would you like to share about your please introduce yourself and your role, and also how how your family legacy of peace, prosperity, and purpose, please.
Perfect. I'd love to.
So happy to see you.
First of all, I'm Mitzi Purdue, and I got into extreme interest in peace because, and this is a little paradoxical, but I am a war correspondent. I do come from 2 business families, the Purdue chicken family, and then also my own family, but my family by birth my father was the co-founder of the Sheraton Hotels. Both families are very engaged in philanthropy. In fact, I've come to believe that no family is long-lasting unless they have discovered philanthropy. My family of origin, I mentioned that my father co-founded the Sheraton Corporation, the hotel company, but the family's actually been in business since 1840. The Purdues have been in business since 1920. So you've got a lot of years of experience, and philanthropy is a huge part of it. Well, how does that relate to me and being a war correspondent? I have spent a fair amount of time, 5 trips in Ukraine since the war, and I'm usually the guest of the Ukrainian police because they're the ones who document war crimes, and that means that I've spent a fair amount of time. Well, I have 286 published stories on people I've interviewed, and when you talk with a conversation from 2 or 3 days ago, a woman who her son, her brother, and her husband are all in the front line, and she's just in, how about unrelieved tension and anguish? Are they all going to come home when she doesn't hear from them when she thinks she should? Can you imagine the anguish? Or, I have 285 other different stories, but it made me so aware of the human side, the personal side of suffering that war causes. But the way I've responded to it I care about peace, but I also am focusing at the moment on how do we get, peace is going to happen sometime in Ukraine, and I'm kind of hopeful it will be soon. But I've talked with so many people in Ukraine about the mental health issues that come. And I have the impression from talking with government officials, social workers, other people in the media, that somewhere around 95% of the population of Ukraine right now has mental health issues. Some not so bad, some terribly severe, but things like insomnia, anxiety, depression, panic attacks. And after kind of hunting around for what kind of resources are available to somebody, say you've got panic attacks or depression or any of these others, and there are a great many of them, your chances of getting a mental health professional one-on-one are almost zero. I mean, they're not literally zero, but there just aren't that many in proportion to the need, 95% of the population, and only a few, comparatively speaking, mental health professionals. Is there something that we could do about it? Well, a year ago, I suggested to General Petraeus, what if we had a ChatGPT type module that you could access through your phone and that would be trained by Ukrainians? It wouldn't just be random information which can be wrong. No, each answer would be built on the knowledge of Ukrainians, and they've got tens of thousands of like transcripts of how mental health professionals interacting with individuals have. You know, they've got books, and the end result, which we are testing right now with, I take to be extraordinary results, is you access it through your smartphone. This is your smartphone. You access it through this. It's available 24/7. It's free, and courtesy of Elon Musk, Starlink means that you don't, I mean, you can have instant access to the internet. And to give you just one statistic, and then I'll wind down. In Ukraine, as of like a month ago, I was there at the end of September. The wait time for the suicide hotline is between 10 and 12 hours. That's to give you a clue to how badly mental health support is needed. And we always would prefer that there's a human, but what about you're in a remote area, you don't have any money, you need help at 3 a.m. Mental Health Global will be there for you. And we're testing that now. We're working on protocols with the Ukrainian National Police we've been testing at 20 at a time. We're now about to go to 100 at a time, and that's my story.
Wow, Mitzi. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I was on mute. I was just unmuting myself. I'm just beyond grateful for you and for your incredible work with providing frontline mental health resources to people in the Ukraine and also with Mental Health Global. I really feel, you're creating a model that can be replicated at scale to any community. So I'm so grateful for you and for your incredible work with pioneering this, and especially now with AI being an incredible resource that we can utilize for holistic human thriving, and also to really provide these much needed resources to people on the ground. And it's an interesting paradigm that frontline physical support has been available, and also mental support has been not as focused on. So I'm very, very grateful for you and for your amazing work, and thank you so much for your leadership and for really having this being a part of your family legacy that provides. I really feel like a through line for you and your family is providing these resources for peace and comfort to people. Because it's really providing the resources that people need at the time. And going from with shelter and then and now providing these amazing resources is just an incredible blessing. And we're so grateful for you and for your leadership and being a part of our Patrons of Peace community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a blessing for you to be here. Thank you so much. And oh my goodness, I'm so in awe and of everyone. It's so incredible. So thank you. And Anand, would you mind? We're going to go female male. So Anand, would you
I would
share?
defer to Lady Rocket, of course.
Okay.
So Lady Rocket, please.
Oh,
Thank
amazing.
you.
Such a gentleman
Thank you so
always.
much. Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure and honor. I am joining Mitzi in appreciating what you, Anand, and of course our special peace fight, and looking to continuation of it. Thank you for inviting me to share this special time with you. I'm coming to you today from Los Angeles, but also in reference to what Marin mentioned, Luna, Moon. I am also pledging for peace and for your mission as a family, 4 generations of the family who has supported development of aerospace, airlines, My family had a monumental debt for several years to Lloyd's of London because we helped finance one of the first European airlines by guaranteeing a loan. But we took this legacy, since we are talking about family legacies, further, higher, and together. And today I am very happy to identify myself as a three generation of space family office, if you speak. Thank you, thank you. But here is additional expansion of what we can do together. And my son was here earlier with you, and again, appreciation for giving us an opportunity to share. We have transformed ability for family offices and for families to support peace by using blockchain, by using space economy as a source of abundance that is so necessary. Thank you so much, because you mentioned peace. There is a war, and usually war happens because of lack of resources. And someone was talking earlier about steel in a previous session, that a lot of wars are because of steel. Where one of the reasons that three generations of my family, starting with my father, who led one of the first space programs in Europe, he was under the we lived under the Soviet regime in Poland. So there was a lot of bad things about it, but one of the good things was that my father led one of the most advanced space programs because he had to force his collaboration with Soviets. So I grew up among rockets. I met Yuri Gagarin, but I always pledged that I want to come to the United States, where we freely can innovate and own new resources and new resourcefulness. Thus, together with my son, we founded as a family Copernic Space, named after Copernicus, using blockchain to finance and accelerate development of the space economy, including making space minerals, resources, space data centers available not only to billionaires but also to us, thus democratization of it. Mitzi talked so beautifully about her mission in Ukraine, so let me make a few comments. And I am personally very appreciative of your personal courage and the time that you are devoting to this incredible country. I had an honor to visit Ukraine in person in the second month of the war. It happened because my grandson was born in Poland, 20 miles away from the Ukrainian border. And the first day of war, so I went to visit my family, meet my grandson, and I had an opportunity to be escorted to Ukraine by Polish families, as a matter of fact. And I traveled to Ukraine twice. Two comments that I want to make. One, very much appreciation, Mitzi, for your quest to provide support for mental well-being of this traumatized nation. From my personal experience, I want to share with you that part of my activities includes space education, space art, which will be showing also at Art Basel. And here comes surprising empirical experience relevant to your mission. Teachers in Lviv told me that when they are teaching students about space, about moon, about universe, they relax, they smile, they paint with joy. So one of my foundations, Lady Rocket Foundation mission was, and mission accomplished, is to send to the moon artwork of Ukrainian children, and now making a point back to the mission of Marin and our team, we also sent to the moon art of Ukrainian artists out of Kharkiv. I am sure that you know this is a city particularly traumatized, and they paint and they create art because it gives them sense of relief, a sense of purpose, and sense of joy in the middle of Russian bombs. And I hope you can join us. We'll be seeing Marin at Art Basel, where I will be making statement aimed at Elon Musk, where one of our artists from Kharkiv, upon my request, painted peace painting by dramatizing presence of American and Ukraine astronaut on the moon watching Ukrainian war on the screens, showing insanity of the war and dramatizing by placing in the context what business do we have to go to Mars if we are engaged in wars. So I am very inspired by Marin's and Anand's opportunity to keep us on mission, keep us connected. And my entire life and my son's life is now dedicated pretty much to expanding use of space to also create prosperity that Marin referred to. Peace needs prosperity. Prosperity causes peace. Untapped resources that we can invoke into the $1 trillion of new economy, $1 trillion potentially in Bitcoin that are not in anyone's pockets, yes. Thus, we, the people, have an opportunity to influence how we use it by democratizing space assets, satellite data, satellites. We already have a mission with also Marin to have rockets, which we are privately producing in Texas for peace, which was able to introduce during Art Basel symbolically as a peace rocket, also thinking about the way that we can monetize rockets and send them with the message of peace. And since this is also a Brazil focused event, I want to add that we who are developing presence in space for us, private citizens, tokenizing space, have an opportunity to economically empower use of satellites in Brazil, to own the data about Amazon's climate change, and something that Marin and Anand we discussed earlier. Who owns the data is of the key importance, because governments own the data, banks own the data, insurance companies, but we, the people, do not have daily access to the data. Thus, we are not in a position to take action based on our principles. And Copernic Space can tokenize this data, which means we can create wealth to harness and own satellites which will be speaking truth about what? Not only climate change, but location of the small communities in Amazon River who disappear because their livelihood is threatened or destroyed by climate change. And guess what? We don't know where they are. We don't know what happens with them. Satellites, backed by the financial and philanthropy model, that is using innovation of blockchain so it's transparent, so it's just, so it's honorable, so it's honest. Tokenizations, cryptocurrencies that we can issue can rapidly, in a matter of couple of years, bring dramatic change that is in our hands, in Mitzi hands, in Anand's hands, in Anand's son's hand, because Anand, your son is, motivation for us to do those things. So I am very empowered. And I also, there's very wonderful that we might want to invite Brazilian family offices to join the initiative that you, Marin, beautifully lead us with. And I have a list of the Brazilian families who are the richest, but not only the richest, the most innovative, most purposeful, and probably will meet criteria of whom do you invite to be a part of your mission. And I can start name dropping Vilelas, Safras. They are involved in aerospace, they are involved in media, they are involved in banking. So I think Anand gave us a beautiful platform from which we can reach and carry your message globally and all the way to the moon. We successfully financed 2 moon missions with abundance of art, also dedicated to peace, already present on the moon. So I want to extend invitation to all of you to visit me and Grant. We're together with Marian, and I hope with you, Anand, during the Art Basel, Bit Basel, we'll be unveiling this art and dedicating auctioning of this art to the shared goal of peace, hopefully meeting the financial requests and commitment that you are asking us, justly so, to do. 2%, 20%, the abundance is in space. So Thank you so much. And it's such a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about my humble mission together with my son, Grant. And I hope to bring him back to the United States because he's two kids and he live next to Ukrainian border and they feel safe. But for me, it's not safe enough. So hopefully we'll be bringing them back to the United States. Thank you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every time you speak, I'm just incredibly in awe and so excited about all of the work that you're doing and all of the visionary of you and Grant, the visionary capabilities and advancing a space market and really creating that. And it's it's such a beautiful evolution of your family legacy in space. And I love that we share that legacy. And when we met, when Grant and I met at a family office conference in the Hamptons several years ago, that was when he was sharing about Copernic space and the mission. I felt immediately aligned because I saw the opportunity and also it is so incredibly important and really cornerstone to peace and prosperity. And also I deeply feel that until we've figured out peace and prosperity and how to get along on Earth, it's going to be very difficult to go to other planets because maybe they may not want humans on these planets. So with the whole space industry, peace is very fundamental for the proliferation of these markets. And I love so much that you're leading that and that you've very much been focused on frontline support for people in the Ukraine and Poland who and have been suffering from the atrocities of this war. So I very much deeply appreciate you and your work and your devotion to peace and prosperity, and also to really continuing your family legacy of creating these initiatives that can unify humanity and advance the human race and evolve us as a species and beyond.
Thank you.
So thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Oh, you're
Thank
so
you,
welcome.
Marin. Thank you, Anand.
Oh, it's my honor and pleasure. Thank you so much. And really, it's just wow. It's this initiative and this community is really it's so phenomenal on so many levels. And I'm always grateful for the times when we can get together and very grateful for Anand for really creating these spaces for all of us to gather and to share the wisdom and to give a voice and a platform to all of these phenomenal leaders globally and under the banner of Davos Worldwide, which is truly one of the highest and best and most esteemed global leadership communities in the world. So it's my great honor and delight to be here and
Yes.
share about our initiative. And Anand, I'm so grateful for you and for your work and also for you creating this legacy for your family and for Jay for all of his amazing work and the two of you working together. It's like Eva and Grant as well. It's so amazing when families can work together in under a shared passion and purpose.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful for you and invite you to share about you and your work and your legacy and how you are creating peace and prosperity and it's already embodied and demonstrated in this incredible gathering, and also invite you to share some words about how you're doing this and your insight around this. So thank you so much for being on our panel, and always grateful for you, and it's an honor and delight to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
everyone for
both.
being here. Lady Rocket, it is always a good thing. Mitzi, it's an amazing thing what you're doing. The fact that you've realized that localized data is more important rather than global data, which would be somewhat not applicable in war situations, especially in the uniqueness of what Ukraine faces on a day-to-day basis is an incredible thing, and I absolutely cannot say enough about that. Obviously, Lady Rocket, you have always impressed. And Marion, it's always a pleasure to have you. And, we're always a supporter for you. As far as we're concerned, we spent many, 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 many generations at war. with many different kingdoms, many different things, occupation against all different kind of things. And it's 5 generations ago decided that peace was more important, and that spreading and taking care of people was more important, and that the most important thing was to think globally, to have global solutions, but at the same time be also effective locally in whatever market that we choose, because obviously no one can do everything. But since no one can do everything, the goal behind Davos Worldwide always has been collaboration, and it's collaboration between individuals, organizations, and bystanders. I'll tell you a simple story. We were having some problems with Zoom and setting up the conference, and their customer support was not, unfortunately, not able to help us. So, out of desperation, I sent a message to the CEO and said, "Hey, Eric, we're having some issues." Um, that night, Eric stayed up several hours later to make sure that the system was fixed and that his people called me the first thing in the morning. And then he reached back out and said, "Look, we want to support you guys. I saw what you're doing, and we're totally on board, and whatever we can do. And it's fixed for now. And we'll make sure it's fixed for later too." So it doesn't, it's not just about how we do things ourselves, but also how we inspire others to join into efforts to become contributing members. Marion, your initiative is particularly to me of interest because of the fact that you are out there inspiring so many family offices, so many individuals, so many talented people, in coming together. And it's not about money; it's about the time and the effort that people put in. It's about their willingness to contribute, and that is what we want to celebrate. Is we want to look at all the things that are happening that are good in the world, that are exemplary of positive change and impact, and that includes technologies such as Mitzi's. That now that it is soon to be proven that this would be a much better solution than creating something global, and that it needs to be focused. Yes, of course, there are global principles in psychology, there are global principles in mental health, but at the same time, localized knowledge is so important. We truly believe that people like you genuinely understand and deliver solutions that only you can see, because you have spent so much time in Ukraine, you've had so many conversations, you understand people at a human level as opposed to looking at numbers. Some of the frustrations we all have with larger organizations, whether it's government organizations or non-government organizations, is the fact that there is a generalization. So if somebody makes a plan about Kenya, they make a plan about Kenya, but then they're looking at the majority tribes in Kenya. They're not looking at what the minority tribes in Kenya would have to do or to adapt to that program, and then whether that program would even be available to them. So at the end of the day, I think that this is what the major learning for us and the major impetus for us is to bring together people that are bringing solutions that can then be amplified into being global solutions, with absolute local touch. So with that, I'm going to say is that for us the most important and most valuable legacy is that to bring people together, to truly create peace through understanding. And that doesn't come from me. That's a quote from Einstein. Is that the only way you achieve peace is not through force, but through understanding. And I paraphrase. So at the end of the day, I think that what the peace train, the peace pledge, is all about to me is bringing everybody's initiative together and saying everybody has a part and every initiative has a part and everybody that wants has to participate and can participate in regardless of what the circumstances are, to bring forward a message of global peace and understanding and of exchange of ideas and exchange of information and exchange of research and exchange of all the critical things that are needed for us to form peace, but also to, in Lady Rocket's case, go into space and conquer space. Because believe it or not, the same data we need to create peace is the same data we need for global expansion and for interstellar expansion. So with that, thank you very much. Marion, I turn it back to you.
Thank you. Beautifully said, Anand.
Wow. Anand, I'm always in awe of you and of your wisdom and the wisdom that you share in all the spaces that we're in. And I love our conversations and our shared passion and purpose of really bringing people together and sharing of these initiatives and exchange of ideas. And that's exactly, as always, on point with all of your insights. So I'm just so grateful for you and for Davos Worldwide and for this incredible platform that you've provided for all of us to come together and to share our initiatives across different sectors. And it's just an honor, always an honor and delight to be here. And I'm always in awe of your convening prowess and also just the
Mhm.
beauty and the brilliance and the grace that you do it with. So yes, Mitzi.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment, which is I have found what I've been listening to utterly inspirational. And I have a deep belief that inspiration is one of the greatest gifts that
Because I
one
can't
person
do it.
can give another. And my reason for believing that is it gives you direction, but it also gives you energy. And to me, being surrounded by the goodness I hear in each of the speakers, boy, I want to leap over tall mountains. I mean, I'm inspired. I want to do more.
That's fantastic. I share your reaction, and knowing both Marin and Anand in person, I can confirm that there is special aura about them, and this is exactly what we need for a pleasure of being together, but also for empowerment, seriousness of the purpose, and togetherness that Anand discussed. I just want to add that in current military strategy, and I participate in Ronald Reagan defense forums and several other diverse meeting involving peace, involving military, involving space, and founding Copernic Space as a result of my collaboration with the Vandenberg Space Force Base here in California, which, in addition to launching Elon's rockets about 5 per month, Vandenberg Space Force Base here in California is our defense system for peace with the most powerful missiles located here on the West Coast. But where I am going with it is to remind us the seriousness of the mission that we are discussing there, and the importance of what Marin referred to as her legacy, also Luna, Moon. In military doctrines, if you talk with American generals, who controls Moon controls Earth. And the wars that are being planned right now, because we have to be honest and recognize that wars are very much on the agenda, will be fought from space and in space. And I want to recognize General Raymond, whom I had the honor of meeting at Vandenberg Space Force Base during the historical meeting, very much relevant to what we are talking about. Um, Kamala Harris, who was the Vice President of the United States, was there because Vice President of the United States ultimately has a command with responsibility for space. General Raymond made peaceful announcement that the United States is the first and only military powerhouse that is declaring that we are not going to use lasers in space for the purpose of war, but only for the purpose of peace. And Mitzi mentioned Starlink. Well, we are using Starlink new generation with laser communication, which allows us to get closer to the data centers, being able to transmit data from space, thus supporting undamaging of the planet Earth. But I just want to share with you that by joining togetherness in addressing space, we are addressing the most vital resource, which will be either designated to peace or unfortunately might be a new theater for war. and Chinese race to be on the moon ahead of us is not driven by the peaceful intentions. So I hope I didn't add too serious and too difficult subject, but I think our forum and what Anand expects also of us is to address togetherness on behalf of peace and
You're
being
absolutely
well.
right, and Eva, I think that it's a wonderful thing. But I wanted to just give Brock an opportunity to introduce himself
Oh,
and talk a little bit about his mission.
Well, I'm
Thank you, Anand, and thank you, Brock, for being here with all of us. And I'm so grateful for you for your devotion to peace, prosperity, and purpose, and really creating the essential infrastructure for the sustainable thriving of humanity for many, many years. And so it's a great honor and blessing that you're here with us. And please share about you and your role and your family and your devotion to peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you so much. So lovely to see you.
yeah. Well, it's good to be here. Lovely to see you. Um, Obviously, I think we, all aspire to peace in ourselves, peace in our homes, peace in our family, peace, continuing to echo out into the world to the extent possible. As much peace as we can be had. Clearly, we live in, times where, as we've talked about, war is very real and continuing to happen around the world in ways where one would hope we've evolved enough as a civilization that there would be less of that. But I'm, involved in peace projects. I think some of you may know His Eminence Shalpa Tenzin Rinpoche. He was given the Holy Land by the Nepalese government, the birthplace of Prince Siddhartha, the first Buddha, to create the first universal peace sanctuary on Earth. And I am the first ambassador of peace related to that project. Its original development was hosted in honor of my mother, like Queen Maya Devi. On Mother's Day is when the project was announced, in honoring of Queen Maya Devi, who gave her life knowingly to bring Buddha or Prince Siddhartha into the world. And so, I've been working on a variety of peace related projects. We looked closely at peace related projects in the cryptocurrency space. I've obviously been very active in that world for some time, having run most of the digital currency markets globally. Prior to Bitcoin, I've been the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation for the vast majority of its existence. Started Blockchain Capital, the first venture fund in the space, one of the most successful venture firms of all time. Started Tether, USDT, which is probably along with Trump's tariffs right now, the primary instrument that has railroaded the BRICS agenda and supported longevity of dollar domination, at least as the primary settlement instrument. Tether does over $50 trillion a year in settlement now, USD settlement, and a lot of that is for international trade. We bought, I think, about 135 billion US dollars in US treasuries. But I invented the security token, which now you're hearing from Larry Fink and most of the majors, that we're going to see all stocks and bonds eventually settle on these systems. I obviously invented the security token for that, and also worked with Dr. Patrick Byrne on the first bond offerings. And I could go on and on and on. I currently serve I served in the United Nations on behalf of 22 countries. I'm the chairman of the Lives Amplified Nations Development Council. We're the largest organization of former presidents, prime ministers, and ministers outside of the UN. I have my own organization, unicorn.org, where I work with governments around the world and use innovation as a tool for transformation, educating governments on how, in the same way startups can become unicorns, if governments embrace the future and innovation, they can benefit from those same changes. And I'm here at my home in Washington, D.C. And so I work with governments around the world. I'm also very active with religions and religious leaders around the world. And I work within culture, arts and culture. And so, I've certainly positioned myself at the center of many of the, I'd say, most influential decision makers in the world when it comes to peace or peace on earth, right? And so I'll, continue to pray for it while carrying a big stick, because peace is also often found, by also having the strength to defend oneself. And so it's an honor to be here and grateful to be in service to, this great mission. And I look forward to Normandy one of these days together and the peace train.
Yes.
Beautiful, Brock. Thank you so much. And it's truly it's such an honor that you're a part of this mission, given your background, which is truly the one of the most pioneering and brilliant backgrounds, and with the innovation and the infrastructure for peace, prosperity, and purpose. The way that you gather global leaders together and create these infrastructure for prosperity, to innovate these financial systems and also these cultural systems is truly second to none. So I'm very grateful for you and grateful for your leadership and your continued devotion to peace on all of the levels. As you mentioned, inner peace is very important, and I so deeply admire how you've cultivated that and how you shared that with your family and also the community that of brilliant minds and hearts that is always around you and orbiting you. So I'm just very grateful for you and for your leadership. And it's a great honor and delight that you are here with us on this in this panel and in this Patrons of Peace Circle, which is all of the leaders that have really innovated and created these systems that we are inviting the world to learn about and support and to get involved. So very grateful for you and your devotion and your continued work and leadership and with peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you so much. And
Marion, very quickly, we've got in about 4 minutes, so may I suggest that we do about 1 minute each person so that we can have a final thought, starting with Brock, of course, since you joined us last, you get to be picked on first.
All right. And so what do we want in this last 1 minute closing sort of statement?
Whatever you'd like to say towards peace, your message.
Yeah, well, I think we started with it, but again, it all begins with inner peace. The world in which we live is a representation of our collective consciousness, which is, again, be the change you wish to see in the world. If you want to see peace on earth, it starts within you. And, that's really where most of the work is. And like on an airplane, it says put the mask on yourself first before taking care of others, and that's very much true in so many ways of all of us in our lives, right? Continue to go through the process of refining yourself to the best of your abilities, knowing that ultimately creates a reflection, a ripple effect into the world at large. And then obviously be there with compassion, right? And forgiveness and everyone in their time, and to provide them, the support that they need so that they can find that. And again, it's also with your family. I still have plenty of work to do. Especially because once you can find it in yourself, you still got to then find that in harmony with others. And, I thank God that we're all different. If we were all the same, this place would be pretty boring. So, it's going to be a continual process, and it will have ebbs and flows. And so, again, it's an honor to be here and to, continue to bring this important message forth to the world.
Lady Rocket, do you want to take the next one?
Yes, very quickly. In response to Marin's call to action, and since Brock is there, we will be in Art Basel auctioning this Bitcoin on the Moon art created by the famous Polish young artist, with donation of 20% going from the Bit Basel event to Marin's organization, because peace means also art. It means bringing people together through art. And the beautiful purpose of Bitcoin is also to be treated as a power of art, philanthropy, and our Bitcoin wallet, which is on the moon, can be also used as a symbolic destination of Bitcoin participating in supporting peace. So come and see Lady Rocket Foundation Bitcoin Fever on the Moon, dedicated to peace, in collaboration with Marin, Bit Basel. And see you, Brock, there. Thank you.
Yeah, Mitzi, if we could please take it on.
Okay, mine is going to be really short, which is my summary is I hope all our viewers and listeners feel as inspired as I do by the people I've been listening to. Peace is such a beautiful thing. It's worth struggling for. I pledge to do everything I possibly can for that cause.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, thank you. Ben, you want to take it, and then Marion, you can close out the panel.
Wow, thank you so much to everyone on this panel. Mitzi, you're on the ground. What reporting from Ukraine is just exactly what people need. We need that transparency and we need that compassion. And thank you so much. I just can't even imagine what that's like. And thank you so much for sharing that. Um, and Lady Rocket, let's zoom out and go to space. We understand that peace isn't just here on Earth, but it's on space, and we are certainly in that time. And Brock, we're so glad you could make it. It's great to see you, and you have truly been a leader on this. And to share what you're working on so many levels. Is just so important and an inspiration to us. So I'm so glad that we could be here to talk about peace. It's such an important issue that's been around forever and will continue, but now is extra relevant. It's newsworthy, and it's so important, not just on Earth and in space, but our inner peace as well. So we're just, what an amazing panel. And Maren, thank you so much for putting this together. Anand as well for making this possible. And Maren, you're an inspiration, and the peace train is this global peace movement, which we hope to amplify. These messages. And Maren, do you want to talk at all, just briefly, about the Peace Patron Circle?
Yes, thank you, Ben. And also I'm just grateful for everyone for being here. Thank you all so much for your time and for your leadership in all of these areas, and for being a part of this Patrons of Peace community. And Ben, I'm very grateful for you and for your devotion to peace. And next time, look forward to you speaking more about you and your family legacy, and how you have all been devoted to peace for many generations. So grateful for you and for your partnership, and also alliance with the Peace Train and the Patrons of Peace Circle. Thank you so much. And my the call to action is to get involved and to support all of these amazing leaders, the organizations. I will reiterate the point from that I began with, is that peace leaders around the world should not have to be focused on fundraising. We're creating this infrastructure to support the peace leaders in perpetuity, to keep doing the good work on the ground that they're doing. Many of them are highlighted here and also beyond in our Patrons of Peace community. So our call to action to everyone is to get involved. Please visit our website, thepeacetrain.earth, and also the Peace Pledge Foundation, and the peacepledge.foundation. And we will be sharing more initiatives on all of the members in our community, and a call to action to get involved and to be a part of this world peace movement in the
And of course, Marion, not to forget, tomorrow, join us at the same time for another panel that Marion will lead, that will also be based peace on media, right? So we'll see you folks again tomorrow. With that, again, thank you so much, and Brock, to kind of to further what you said. There isn't a religion in the world that does not consider peace as the best blessing. So that should give us a clue of that everybody thinks the same. So thank you again, everyone. It's been a pleasure having you, and peace be with you.
Bye,
Peace be
everybody.
with you.